Hey parents, welcome to the Mommy Pod, where we keep it real about parenthood. The joy, the chaos, and everything in between. I'm your host, a single mom, educator, and everyday woman learning to give herself grace while chasing her dreams. Whether you're folding laundry, stuck in traffic, or sneaking in 5 minutes of peace, this space is your reminder that you're not alone. And you're doing better than you think. So, grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab a drink, take a deep breath, and let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to the Mommy Pod. Today, we're talking about something that so many moms, single moms, caregivers, and women over 40 wonder about. How do you get your sparkle back when life keeps asking more from you? Our guest today is Lynn Marie Palin, and her story is proof that your biggest challenges don't have to be the end of your dreams. They can be the beginning of them. Lynn is a 41-year-old entrepreneur, speaker, mentor, fitness champion, reality TV winner, national title holder, and single adoptive mother. A first-generation multiracial American standing at 4'10". And I'm not going to say at just 4'10" because I'm also 4'10", and I know how powerful tiny women are. She has spent her life proving that limitations are often just someone else's expectations. She is the founder of Face La Vie, a fitness national champion, and six-time gold medalist. And she was named the most investable on the blocks. But what inspires me most about her story isn't the titles or the accomplishments, it's what she did when her family needed her the most. In 2020, after her brother lost both legs following an overdose, Lynn stepped in to adopt her nephew, Noah. What could have been a story of heartbreak became a story of purpose. That experience led her to create L.I.F.T, a community nationally approved mental wellness curriculum that is now impacting communities across the country. And if that wasn't enough, Lynn started pageantry at 38, an age when most women are told their dreams have an expiration date. Instead of listening, she made history. Today, she holds national and international titles, including Miss USA, Queen of the World 2025. She serves as Rhode Island Central Miss and is currently competing in the Miss USA casting competition with a mission to prove that women do not age out of their dreams. They evolve into them. Lynn, welcome to the Mommy Pod. I was so inspired reading your story, and I love the line in your blog where you said, I've never believed that age, height, or circumstance should determine what's possible. As a fellow mom, that really hit me because so many women feel like their dreams have an expiration date. We're told that we're too tired or too old or too busy or too late. Yet here we are, and you are advancing to round 3 of the Miss USA casting competition and proving otherwise. So let's start with the question of how did you get your sparkle back?
So, you know, life is ebbs and flows, always. And you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. But it's how we speak to ourselves every day that's the most important. Part of the L.I.F.T program, which is a 5-step program initially, is positive affirmation. So say something positive about yourself. Say something good about yourself. Like, what do you love about yourself today? What I love about myself today was not what I loved about myself yesterday. And you know what? They go back and forth. So it's a day by day and a week by week, situation. And also too, it's kind of drowning out other people's opinions and what they expect for your life to look like. If I went by what everybody expected me to be, I would probably be some type of attorney or doctor, and I would be married barefoot with 2.5 kids and a white picket fence. But that's not the way I saw my life. And I was always very independent. And when the opportunity came about for me to come back and at that point foster my then nephew and then adopt him, it just felt like the right thing to do. So I try to just drown out what everybody else around me is thinking or saying or society standards and go with my, not always my head and not always my heart, because those can be conflicted, but what my gut is really telling me. And a lot of that is just quieting the outside noise, talking to yourself, meditating, and figuring out from that point what you want your life to look like.
I love that. Thank you. I was going to ask, like, what are some points that you can do to reconnect with yourself? But I think you gave us one, quieting the noise and focusing
Yeah.
in. That's
And
pretty.
I have a support system. I've also been a ballerina for 39 years, going on 40 years. And I think having that one thing that always helps me mentally and physically reset really, really helps me to focus on everything else around me, because it doesn't just do things for me physically, it does something for me mentally. And when we have those things as women, that one piece of our day that's for ourselves, it's so fundamental and so important, because we are able to prioritize ourselves in that moment. And we realize, like, okay, if I can accomplish this, I can get everything else done. But we really should, especially as moms and women, be focusing on taking better care of ourselves, because when we take better care of ourselves and we fill up our cup, we have so much more to give everybody else around us. So I'm very mindful to make sure to do that for myself.
For sure. Very good advice. Take care of yourself, fill up your cup so that you can take care of
And
others.
I think that looks different for everyone, because everybody's like, I don't have the time. I often hear this. I don't have the time. I go, you know what? It could be my day to day looks different as well. Taking time for myself could mean pulling into my driveway and sitting there with no music on and my car shut off with my eyes closed for 5 minutes. Some days it looks like that. And other days it looks like a day at the spa. You know, it just really depends on how much time I have. But if I take that 5 minutes for myself, I feel better.
I love that. That makes sense. Just 5 minutes is all you need. In your recent
Mhm.
in your recent blog, you wrote about advancing to round three of the Miss USA casting competition. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh my gosh, the world wants to know about this. And it's so exciting because it's history making. They've never really done it this way before. There were women casted previously, and I'm friends with a few of the women, and they actually encouraged me to put my hat in the ring as well. But it was not to this magnitude and not on this scale. And so many women applied, and so many women have made it. And then, you know, at a certain point, everybody gets eliminated. I will hopefully be going to round four as of Tuesday at midnight. But it's actually international news, and it's wild to see my picture pop up on all of these pageant websites. And people are like projecting who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. It's really international news, and it's very, very different. Um,
Yeah.
the Miss USA system was bought over by Tom Broder last year. They only had, I think, 6 to 8 weeks to put a pageant together. And then this week, with a lot of this year, with a lot of legal issues and things like that, they decided to do this voting system. Obviously, a lot of people want to know if it's a money grab. And I can tell you behind the scenes, obviously, we have to fundraise for the system. We are missing directors, which is why these open titles are there, right? But it is not a money grab. It is a lot of effort. And honestly, I feel like the women that have moved up to the next levels, it's been on effort and merit in combination with raising funds as well. So it's really a cool process, and it's a cool process to see behind the scenes, because I think the women of the cast have become their own like little sisterhood as well. So we all root for each other. And, you know, if somebody gets eliminated, they're like, well, you were my pick. And it's kind of a very different thing to belong to, and history making, right? I don't know that this will ever be done again, because there'll be state directors in these positions next year. So we might be the only people to have ever gone through this exact process.
That is really cool. I love pageantry. I grew up in the South and grew up doing pageants and watching them on TV. So I totally know how it works. And so when I saw that, I was like, this is different when they
I'm
have
so,
casting call. So there's for Miss USA, they have different state representatives competing for the title. But what you're saying is this year, as they were bought out, there are a couple of states that don't have directors. So this competition is going to hopefully lead you into a spot where you would be taking over the title of a state that didn't have a director, and then you'd go into the Miss USA competition
yes.
as that title
So
holder.
I can come out and say I am looking to be Miss New Hampshire USA. And the reason I'm looking to be Miss New Hampshire USA is because it's not really about a title for me. It really is about being active in the community, getting my platform out there, and I want to know how to best serve my title and my community. I do have a family home in New Hampshire and I have deep roots and ties there, and it's about an hour and a half from where I live. So that would be ideal for me. And it also would be ideal for the system as I am a property owner there with my family.
Right. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That
So
is
it makes
so cool. Wow. That's like Willy Wonka for like
right.
golden
I'm a,
ticket.
I'm like, woohoo.
I
But
love that. Yeah,
and
well,
obviously, having summered there and things like that, I'm very familiar with the area. Their motto is live free or die. I kind of am a rebel in that way. Like
yeah.
everything I do seems somewhat rebellious, right? I go against the grain. If someone tells me, well, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, or why would you do that, or you're too old, or you're too short, or you're too this, or you're too that, I go, you're projecting your fears onto me. And I still got it. And I still have so much to say. And I don't feel like I've aged out of that opportunity. I think I've aged into it. I've evolved into it. I am a much better person. Oh goodness, my earring decided to just go. I'm a much. Oh, give me 1 second. We might.
Yeah.
You gotta love the pageant earring, my friend. Um. Okay, let me know when you want me to start back up.
So you can start whenever
Okay,
you're ready.
let's hope that stays there. So I think at this point in my life, I know who I am much more than when I was 22. And I think as women, we can all say that. And so to hold something as purposeful as a title that represents a state or possibly the country or possibly internationally and such magnitude as Miss USA, I think that it benefits the system and it aligns with the trajectory that they're going in.
Right. I
And
think you'd be the perfect
I
Miss
think
New
Tom
Hampshire.
Broder and the I think Tom Broder and the Miss USA organization are definitely on the right track.
That's great. That is so great. And will it be televised?
It will be televised.
Amazing. All right. Well, we are rooting for you. We're voting for you. Everybody go click the link in the bio and make sure you vote for her before tomorrow, right?
Thank,
Tuesday, the 23rd. I'm gonna get this episode out today. All
thank
right.
you.
So,
Yeah.
uh, um, so why is this opportunity about so much more than a crown for you?
It's history making. It's paving the way, right? Do I ultimately expect to win every title I go into? Absolutely not. But I would like the opportunity to get in front of the judges, to be on the Miss US stage, to be able to tell my story, and to be able to pave the way for women who are over 28, who are under 5'7", who have never been given the opportunity and the chance to speak on the Miss USA stage and represent as a first generation American, as a mom, as a single adoptive mom, as somebody who is not married or, is single and, is considered technically a Ms. Or it just represents so much more than me. It represents the evolution of modern womanhood.
Do your kids love stories, colors, castles, and adventures? Well, Princess Liliana and the Rainbow Castle is more than just a storybook. It's an interactive journey where little readers explore colors while building imagination, from the sunny yellows of the Golden Hall to the sparkling blue sapphire shoes that she wears. Each page bursts with magic. Plus, it comes with a coloring book and activity pages, so the fun continues even after the story. It's perfect for toddlers, preschoolers, and early readers. Turn rainy days into rainbow days with Princess Liliana and the Rainbow Castle. It's the perfect way to teach your little ones colors while sparkling their imagination. It's available now on Amazon KDP. I love that. It sure does. Speaking of motherhood, you often speak about your son being your greatest inspiration. How has motherhood shaped the woman that you've become?
Well, he's really the heart of everything I do. And I try to be not only his biggest advocate, but the biggest advocate for children as well. And by being the best role model I can be for him, to show him as a mom, you can do anything you want to do if you put effort into it, if you try your hardest, if you do your best. And whether you win or lose, you're still learning, and to always have your mind open to those learning opportunities. And actually, that's what this is about, right? Like pageantry is a learning opportunity. It's a skill set that you develop and a process and a journey. And that is really what I love about pageantry. I fell in love with the journey of it, the process of it, the learning about yourself, the opportunity to refine those speaking skills, the opportunity to refine yourself as a woman and be a woman of feminine excellence. I think that's just a beautiful thing. And I think that if more people understood, pageantry wasn't just about stepping on stage in a pretty gown and makeup, and was really about the community service aspect and refining yourself as a person and developing those skill sets, I think people would really, really gravitate towards it.
I agree. So great.
Yeah, I
Um,
love pageantry.
yeah, it's really,
I'm a little bit obsessed.
I wish there were more pageants around. Like I was so excited to have a daughter. I could not wait to put her in pageants. And we live in Southern California and there are like no pageants.
Oh
Say,
no.
I know
See,
it's
you need that. Brianna Diedrich just opened up the iconic beauty pageant. She's in California. I know that she'll probably open up the age levels, but she hasn't right now. Um, so I belong to a system currently. It's a non-compete system, and I'm actually competing this weekend coming up. It's called American Miss Pageant, and this is the 40th anniversary of it. And the director, Brenda Pollock, is a director, but she's also someone who is keeping up her mom's legacy. And this is her way to do it. And when I tell you, it's not about always the biggest title of every pageant, it's what you can get from it.
right.
This pageant is most exceptional in every way. The way she runs it, the heart behind it, how she cares for the ladies that are into it. And it's growing very quietly, growing because she doesn't focus necessarily on the social media. But, you know, I'm competing with 50 other girls, well, 48 other girls this weekend.
Wow.
And
Yep.
it's a national title, it's a national pageant. She wants to grow it. And she is looking for directors and of such. But when I tell you, I recommend this pageant to anyone and everyone. And if you're looking to belong to a sisterhood and a pageant that really cares and supports you and wants to see that growth, American Miss Pageant is definitely a place to find a home.
I love that. I'll look into it.
Yeah, I highly recommend. And if there's anything that I can do or be of a resource for you or set you up with Brenda, I highly recommend it. I can't, I 10 out of 10 from the organization behind the scenes, from all the informational stuff she gives you, and just her wanting to see you align with your own goals. Again, I am competing for an open casting, very well knowing that I could go to this pageant this weekend and not be able to continue my duties. And she was like, I want to see you do well and I want to see you pursue your dreams. And she had no qualms about it at all. And most directors would not say that
Right.
or really mean that. She's fantastic.
That's really great. Yeah, some directors feel like they own you, or you have to
And I understand that, every system has its, own way of doing things. And you have to find what is aligned with your life at that point, which is, we always tell women who are entering pageantry, make sure the system aligns with your values and
yeah.
where you're at in that moment. And you'll be okay, but again, to just have that type of love for pageantry and love for women and love for mentorship. She is somebody that I think is an amazing role model. And if and when I ever do become a director, most likely I will, I very much would love to model myself after Miss Brenda Pollock. She's a beautiful person and she really is a caring director.
Oh, that's really great. You've given her glowing reviews.
Yeah,
So, can we talk about family advocacy a little bit?
absolutely.
One of the most
Um,
powerful parts of your story is fighting to keep your nephew with your family. Can you tell us about that journey?
So a little over 11 years ago, I was living in New York. I had a life that I designed very differently. I was, living a single girl's life with my ex-fiance in New York and just enjoying my Carrie Bradshaw moments. And my brother and his girlfriend, they got pregnant and they were unable to care for the baby. So I came back temporarily thinking I was going to foster him and quickly realized that it was going to be kind of a more permanent situation. And when that happened, I started thinking about restructuring my life and what that would look like as being a single mom. And I started a plan to build my company, which was Face La Vie, to prioritize becoming that single parent. And then at 2.5, I fully adopted him. And, that process was not an easy process as a single woman, as you can imagine, and also as a family member, because what people don't know about fostering and adopting is it is very difficult, but it can be even more difficult when your family member is close by because you're trying to just navigate everyone's feelings and you're trying to protect the child and you're also trying to protect yourself. And at that time, I was trying to build a company and I just moved back from New York to Rhode Island. So I started from scratch again. So it was very overwhelming and I blinked, but we got it done. So I think that pressure is a privilege and it means something is expected of you. And as a mother, you expect more because your heart is walking on the outside of your body at that point.
Wow, that is so good for you. You completely changed your life for him, and one day he's going to know that.
I think he has an idea now that he's, 11 and he's developing and, you know, we're close, but he's also reached that point where I'm sad. He'll
Oh,
hug and cuddle me in private, but sometimes he'll be like, Mom, you can't kiss me. And then other times he'll be like, well, no, you're my mom. You're always going to be my mom. I'll hug you. So he's having those big feelings.
yeah. Oh my gosh. And mine is 6, so he's already got big feelings, but I can't do the not cuddling. He's got to cuddle.
Aw, that must be difficult for you today, seeing that you're under the weather, and I'm sorry about that, but I very much appreciate you still stepping up and doing this interview with me. I appreciate it.
No, of course. We really wanted to hear your story on the pod, and I'm sick because he was sick. My daughter was sick, and then my son got sick, and I was taking care of both of them, and now I'm sick. And luckily, they are doing much better, and they're with their dad, so they don't have to worry about me being sick.
That's good. You'll have a little time to take care of yourself.
Yeah, that's the bright side of co-parenting. You founded L.I.F.T. Lead, Inspire, Foster, Take Action. Tell us
Yes.
how that movement began.
So my brother overdosed in 2020. And when he overdosed, he was in a coma. And I had the very difficult decision to make to amputate his legs. And he went through a lot of rehabilitation, and my family went through a lot, and I went through a lot. And after he was settled and he was able to get prosthetics and walk again, and my family was kind of back to a place where, there was a day-to-day routine, I had realized I didn't take care of myself and I wasn't feeling good. And I hadn't processed any of my feelings because I'm a doer. And a lot of the times, especially as moms, we get in this place of functionality, and we don't think about, are we even processing our feelings? Do we even have time to process our feelings? And so that's how I got into fitness, even more so. And I just threw myself into fitness. And when I was on the treadmill late at night, I would think to myself, like, wow, there really should be some type of structure on how to get yourself back from ground zero. And I developed this 5-step program, which starts off with positive affirmation, intentional writing, meditation, movement, and it just kind of developed from there. And this L.I.F.T community kept developing, and this idea of coming back to physically taking care of yourself to help release emotion. And I guess that kind of was always within me because I've been a dancer my whole life. And so finding something that you have some form of physical release with, whether it's meditation or stretching or dance or going to the gym, it's actually a need. And I came up with the idea, especially seeing my son at school, who is such a tactile boy, that these kids are cooped up and they're feeling what we're feeling all day. And there's no physical release there. And there needs to be. It's an actual need. All of these things and these processes are a need within our day, especially with, technology and all the stimulation that these children have, and everything that we have in society. You need those moments for yourself, and you need a way to release. And so that's how this program came about. And then I had the idea as I would go around to schools, and I had this title as, Miss Queen of the World USA. I started thinking, wow, I should really lobby for this to be a part of the national curriculum. And so I did. And I spent 3 years asking teachers and doctors and parents, if this would be helpful in school and to them. And I lobbied for a very long time, and a sister queen of mine from another pageant and I created a curriculum. And now I'm proud to say in April that it has been approved as part of a national curriculum. So I lobbied for 3 years in order for that to happen, and it's finally approved. So very, very proud of that,
Wow.
because it will impact families, children, and households across the country from now until forever.
Yeah, that's so incredible. I've just heard about being able to write and sell curriculums. So kudos to you. Congratulations. That's so exciting. And I, excuse me. Yeah, that's great. I love that. The fitness side of it is really important, just getting your body moving. And a lot of times I don't want to move my body. And I'm a dance teacher, so I dance too. We have so much in common.
You
But
and I have a lot to talk about.
too. But yeah, that's my normal job is I'm a high school dance teacher. But through the depression and taking care of my kids by myself or co-parenting, but with a difficult co-parent, whatever the case may be, life is hard. And a lot of times I don't want to move my body, but moving it helps. And we know as dancers, moving our body in an artistic way and getting stories out can really help. It's really therapeutic and healing. So that's really great that you have this program coming out. And I like how you have tied in the mental wellness with the fitness. Living with ADHD means cleaning and organizing can feel impossible, but it doesn't have to. My book, Living with ADHD Cleaning and Organizing, is built for real life with step by step systems, ADHD friendly routines, and realistic hacks. It helps you create calm in your space without the overwhelm. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Whether you're a busy mom, busy parent, student, or professional, this book will help you reset your home and your mind.
It's it's all of it. It's you really don't have one without the other. Everything that we think and everything that we are and everything that we say to ourselves really is effective to our body. And what the things that we do, the decisions that we make, they wear on us. So you can see somebody who is 25 years old that's had a very hard life, and you look at them and you can physically see that they've had a hard life.
Yeah.
And that's a physical manifestation of their thoughts and their environment. So we have to change our thoughts and change our environment to impact our daily routine and make more positive days. And it's necessary. I probably drive my son crazy because I'm the mom who's like, let's giddy up, let's go, let's do this, let's do that. How's your day? How do you feel? Like a million questions. Probably, mom, I've had enough. But I'll never not be that person. And I want to always forever get that message out.
I love that. I want to get back to that because I've definitely lost my sparkle. So I guess that's really what I wanted to ask you is like, how did you get your sparkle back? Um,
5 every day, just for you, 5 minutes. And you know what? When you are feeling overwhelmed and overstimulated, I've become very good at telling my son, I say this a lot, mommy's a person too.
yeah,
I'm a person. And I explained to him, I'm a person outside of being your mom. I'm a person outside of driving you to sports. I'm a person outside of like having conferences with your teacher. I need to have relationships. I need to have friendships. I need 5 minutes to take a shower by myself. I need a few minutes to watch my TV show and turn my brain off for a second. I am a person, and those are things that I need for me too. And so I think when children grow up hearing that you are an individual aside from being their mom and they're not just your mom, they have a better idea as to, oh, okay, maybe spatial awareness, situational awareness. And I think that will transcend in them as they get older. And that's a great social skill. So you're not only developing a boundary for yourself and your child, but you're also teaching them how to have social awareness and situational awareness, which is very important because I feel like a lot of people don't have it.
yeah, it's really surprising. Or spatial
Yeah.
awareness.
Yeah, I'm like, sometimes I miss the COVID days only for the fact that it was like 6 feet apart because, you'll be in a line at a grocery store and somebody will be like on top of you.
Yes.
And hey, buddy, I can tell you what you ate for lunch, so you're probably too close.
Yes. Yes, I did like that. The little foot things where people had to stand and they kept us 6 feet apart. Yep. Let's just bring that back for the stores.
Just for the stores. I agree.
Okay. So let's talk about beauty, confidence, and self-worth a little bit more because I feel like we've talked about it throughout this pod. But you are a licensed esthetician and skincare entrepreneur as you founded Face La Vie. Um, what first drew you to the beauty industry?
I was a, a probably 2 or 3 years old when I first discovered that I just loved all things beauty and all things Barbie and all things I wanted to doll everybody up. My mom's mom was, my best friend growing up, and she let me pretty much do whatever I wanted to do. She was like my human Barbie doll head. And I remember convincing her, I called her Meme. Meme, I know how to cut hair. Can I cut your hair? And I would sit there and I'd be like, can I massage your hands? Can I give you this facial? And they would buy me beauty products. And from a very early on, I had a passion for it. And as I got older and I went to college and, I ended up going to a business school and I did well, but business is a passion, right? But beauty was a passion and I was able to take them and combine them, which is very cool.
That's amazing. And you've worked with countless of women. What confidence struggles do you see most often?
So comparison is the thief of joy, right? When we're comparing and we see it all day long on social media and, oh, well, this person's taller and this person looks better or this person has more. But we also have to remember social media is a highlight reel, right? I don't necessarily show everything that's going on behind the scenes. Most often I have more problems than I have, good things that happen during the day, but it's how we deal with them and it's what we say to ourselves every day. But yeah, it's the comparison. You can't compare what you don't really know. You're only seeing highlight reels and everyone has something to bring to the table and everybody has a purpose here. And it's really women to woman speaking to each other that way and being mindful of how we speak to one another and being mindful that we're probably all going through something very similar and we all have very similar feelings. You might hate your curly hair and I might want curly hair, or somebody might not dislike their height and I might dislike mine and I wish I was taller and they wish they were shorter. It's just we all have those feelings and it's just kind of being mindful that we're all kind of just walking around as individuals feeling a little weird, as Dr. Seuss would say.
I like that. Did he say that? Feeling a
What?
little weird
Dr.
that we
Seuss?
all walk around feeling a little weird?
Not in those terms, but when
Yeah.
there's Dr. Seuss wrote a book about some quotes about, you know, when you find somebody who's weird and they find somebody who's weird. I don't know the exact quote of it. Somebody out there will tell me or send me the quote.
Well, I think that should be
Um,
the new quote. Yours should be the new quote. That was good.
I don't know I can't remember. It's been a long week. I can't remember the exact quote. It's been a while since I've read Dr. Seuss to Noah,
Yeah.
but he he was genius that way. He
Yeah.
simplified a lot of things for a lot of people. And if we read back to you know early childhood development books and Dr. Seuss and things like that, I think we find a lot of value in things like that because it simplifies our thought process.
Yes. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your skincare line and how it reflects your mission?
So I worked for a corporate company when I first started in skincare, and they had a retail line and then they had a professional line. And what they would do with the retail line is they would make it not as concentrated. So that way the person would always have to come back and get more facials and their skin would never quite, it would be good, but not quite the same. And so when I developed Face La Vie, I developed it initially and essentially to be a franchise business. And when I did that, I wanted to develop my own skincare line because I wanted to offer the public professional grade skincare at a retail price. And I wanted to sell them the same product that I was using within their facials and within their service as would be retail. So I do very small batch because, small batches, they have a shelf life. And that was kind of the basis of my model. And it's done very well. And it's done very well because of that, because obviously it's small batch, but it's also what you get in your facial is what you take at home. And it just extends the life of your skin and extends the life of your facials and it extends the life of your skincare. And people see a difference because there is a difference in product when something is concentrated and when something isn't. It's about the amount of active ingredients that are being useful and being absorbed into the skin as opposed to, water that just is kind of sloughing on and off.
Amazing. Yeah. It sounds
So it
luxurious.
does go back to,
What'd you
I'm
say?
sorry. No, I said, so it does go back to always kind of taking not necessarily a holistic approach, but a logical approach and something that is fair. Like I like to treat my clients in a fair way.
Yeah, that's good. It's important. What kind of legacy do you hope this journey of yours leaves behind?
I hope that when people remember me, they remember the way that I made them feel. I hope that it makes them feel leaving empowered, like they can be their best selves. not how they felt about me, but how that's a reflection of them and how they feel inspired to do something for themselves.
Amazing. And last question. There is a mom or dad listening right now who feels like life has passed them by and they're convinced that they've missed their chance or can't follow their dreams. What's your message to them?
No way. There's a list of things about, the average person does this at this age and this at this age. And the average person that becomes a millionaire is 49 years old. The average woman who pivots into the career that they'll forever be in is 42. So we're not aging out, we're evolving, and we should be evolving. And if anybody tells you that you're missing the mark, or if they're trying to put their expectations on you, that's just wrong, because we're constantly learning and we're constantly evolving, and we should be. We
Right.
should be. You should be evolving, and there's no time frame on things. We're all going to end up in the same place at the same one day. So what does it matter other than the way you make people feel, and the good that you've contributed here in this world? So I think timelines are a little silly, and everybody is a little different. People blossom like flowers. Some take longer and some take shorter. It just really depends on, your own personal timeline. I think that's what we should go by, is our own internal clock. We shouldn't be worried about everybody else's internal clock and what they feel is right for you.
I love that. Very good. Worry about your own internal clock. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I hope that you feel better. You have to worry about all your clocks today. Internal, maternal.
I know. Thank you so much. But if this conversation taught us anything, it's taught us that you don't age out of your dreams. You don't need to become, you do not need to become too old to start over, or too short to stand tall, or too busy to pursue purpose. You are living proof that resilience, courage, and faith can take you places that fear never could. And whether you're wearing a crown or not, you're making history by reminding women everywhere that their next chapter might be their brightest one yet. Thank you so much for joining us on the Mommy Pod.
Thank you too. Thanks to, and thank you also for being a 4'10" giant.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And how can our listeners find you?
So I'm very active on Instagram, which is Lynn Palin, or Ms. USA 2025, Ms. _ USA 2025. I am on TikTok, and I also have a personal website. If you want to contact me directly, I always answer there, and that's lynnpalin.com as well.
All right, amazing. And if you don't mind, if you could send me that, your
Yeah,
handles, thank you so much. And I'll just copy you and paste and put it in the show notes so everybody can just click and find you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for tonight, and I hope you feel better. And let's chat outside of here another day.
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right. Feel better.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
Before we go, I just want to say thank you. The Mommy Pod is built in the middle of real life. Work, kids, laundry, rebuilding, and dreaming. And every time you listen, share, or support what we create here, it truly matters. If this episode spoke to you, one of the best ways to keep this podcast going is by supporting our Mommy Pod products. From our children's books and activity books to our calming sprays and digital downloads designed for moms and parents and families. Everything you purchase goes directly back into keeping the show alive. And if you can't purchase right now, sharing this episode with another parent means just as much. Thank you for being here.